Well, it looks like we're live. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the 9 ways to how to wreck your personal brand and how to avoid them. Really, that's what we're doing over this 9 days. So today is the next step. Make sure you go back and watch the other steps so that you don't miss out on the other things that I've talked about up until this point. Today is all about hiding behind your brand. If you're building a personal brand, you haven't got the luxury to hide behind your business brand. So you need to make a decision. If you're building a personal brand, you need to make that decision about how much you're prepared to step out beyond the business brand. See, you've got your business brand, you've got your personal brand, you've got your product brand, you've got your service brand. It all depends on what kind of brand you're building. But if you are building a brand like Steve Jobs or Sir Richard Branson, for example, then you're building a strong personal brand and a company at the same time. But the challenge is if you're only focusing on the company, you're going to go through what I did many years ago. There's two different ways of looking at this, really. And I've built 10 companies, so I've had a lot of experience with this. So the first companies that I ever built were totally around, good morning, totally around me building my personal brand without knowing it. I didn't know that back then. If you think that you've put too much emphasis on your company brand rather than your business brand, let me know in the comments with this, because there's a way that you need to start changing that I'm going to cover today. Oh, got a comment. Hang on. Good morning, Fiona. Hello. When I built my first few companies, I didn't know any different, right? So I was just on an all-out mission, going out, networking. I was building up my personal profile, and people were coming to me. And if somebody mentioned the word brand or branding, people were saying, "Oh, you've got to speak to Sammy Blindell. She's the person you've got to go to," which was brilliant, great for the ego. Everybody wanted to work with me, and it was awesome. And maybe you're finding that. Maybe you're networking like a crazy thing. You're out there. You're the one that's showing up. Maybe you're doing Facebook Lives. If you're doing Facebook Lives or live streaming webinars, just put in the comments here so I can see, how much of your personal brand you're building. So that's what I was doing, and it was brilliant until it wasn't brilliant. It wasn't brilliant when I started burning out, because I was not only building the business, I was also delivering on the promises to the customers. I was managing everything. Maybe you're doing that. Are you wearing all of the hats right now? Give me a yes, 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 if that is you. So there I am doing all this stuff. And of course, I then think, okay, so I need to start building a team. Well, as I start building a team, it didn't make any difference to the brand, because I'd built it all on me. Even though I had a company name, I'd built everything on me. And so I was burning out big time. So I started to build my team. But because I'd built my personal brand, the clients were saying, yeah, but it's you that I've bought. It's you that I want to work with. It's you that's been recommended. I don't want to work with your team. I want to work with you. So if you're at that stage now in your business, then there's a way of doing it. Like I said, I'm going to cover that, but I want to also look at the business brand, because I think it's important that if you are building your personal brand and your business brand at the same time, because you want to release yourself from the business. If you have dreams of, systemizing and automating and running your business like a real machine, so that it's running even when you're not there. So, all of your landing pages, your products and services, they're all running when you're not there. Then you're also building a product brand. See, even Bob has got something to say about this. Bobby, come on down. So if you're building that company brand, then you're building your personal brand still behind that. You have to be, because people aren't going to buy from your company if they don't trust you. But then it's about building the trust around the company and positioning you always as the founder, the trailblazer, the kickstarter, the grenade that's willing to go out there and do what it takes to build the business. But the business isn't just all about you. You start positioning it as a team at the very beginning. Good morning, Joe. So, and that's a key thing, right? So if you're building a strong personal brand and a business brand at the same time, the key thing is to avoid hiding behind the business brand, which I then did as a result of thinking, oh my goodness, right? I don't want everyone to just be coming to me. I want them to come to my team. So I started building the business about the business, and I hid behind the business. I put it all on the team. Well, then when I sold that business back in 2013, I had a big problem, because I was invisible. You couldn't find me online other than on Facebook with my friends on Facebook. I didn't have an identity back in 2013. You'll find videos of me, you'll find things of me back then, but that was stuff that other people posted. That were things that, I had a video production company come in and they did some filming and then they got that up online. So it was totally by accident that there was anything on there online about me. So I learned my lesson at that point. I thought, okay, here's what to do if you're building a personal brand and a business brand at the same time. So you position your business brand as you are the celebrity or the founder behind it, just as Steve Jobs or Sir Richard Branson Steve Jobs is, I guess, still the legend behind Apple, even though he died about 12 years ago. When we think of Apple, we still think of Steve Jobs. So he built it incredibly. If you want to model success on how to build a strong personal brand and a business brand at the same time, he did it perfectly. He did it beautifully because he made it all about the product. He emphasized everything on the product. He emphasized on Apple as a company. He was the spokesperson for Apple. He was the visionary behind the visionaries that created Apple. So he built that beautifully. Richard Branson, he's done the same thing. He's built a very strong personal brand. Even though he's got over 300 companies, you still feel like you're buying from him when you buy from his company. You know that he is a perfectionist where it comes to quality. And he has, whether you love both of these or hate both of them, they have gone out of their way to make their brands fun, engaging, creative, not up themselves. They're willing to take risks. And they show that, but they put the emphasis on the company. So they're the spokesperson for the company. And that's what you need to do. Even though, like Joe, I know you're running a big business. You've got team, you've got staff that are working for you. You've really built an incredible company. And now it's time for you to step up as the spokesperson behind that company. Fiona, I'm not quite sure about your business yet. I'm not meeting you until the Vision, Voice and Visibility Summit this weekend. Yes. Can't wait for that. But I'm not meeting you till this weekend. So I'm not quite sure about your company behind this. So I'm going to get behind that when we meet this weekend. But if you're just on your own at the moment, or for those of you watching, let me know in the comments. Like, are you on your own in business? Do you have a team? Or how many of you are there, so that I get a sense for that, so I can advise a bit more specifically. But if you are on your own and you're building the business on your own, you still want to be talking as if you want to be talking from the company. You don't want to be using I-focused language too much, especially on your landing pages, your homepage of your website. Talk from the company, but have a picture of you with a quote at the top of your website, with underneath it, founder of, and that be the name of your company, so that you're the founder of it. You could be the founder, trailblazer, and CEO of, put your company name here, Joe Brett. Perfect. Okay, so you got 30 staff. Yeah, so it's time for you to emerge. Okay, Fiona, it's just you. Okay, so thank you for that. So yeah, with it just being you, Fiona, and obviously you're coming to the summit, I'm assuming because you want to create a really strong vision that's way beyond anything you've created so far. You want to get your voice out there. So you want your brand to carry the message as well as you, and you want to drive as much visibility as possible. So visibility is creating credibility. Credibility is creating confidence in your brand. Confidence creates connection. Connection creates that trust. And conversion, usually, because that then converts a stranger into a friend, and then it's about engaging them into that relationship, so that conversation becomes a conversion, the conversion becomes cash flow, and that way you've got a really strong business. Okay, brilliant. So Joe, you've got 10 staff and the rest are associates. Brilliant. So yes, Fiona, it is time. You are absolutely right, and I'm so delighted to be one of the mentors that's guiding you this weekend. So so where it comes to building your brand, Fiona, it's very critical that you start talking and positioning yourself, if that's what you want to do, is to start really getting out there and put the focus on the business, but with you as the trailblazer and the visionary behind it. So start calling yourself visionary and CEO, or founder and visionary behind. So start talking about your business like that. Actually, Joe, you need to do the same thing. It actually doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what size your business is. If you are planning to become a speaker, you're becoming the celebrity behind the organization. If you are going to start being the spokesperson, the brand ambassador for it, you're the one that people are going to start seeing. If they're not seeing you enough already, you're the one they're going to start seeing. Good morning. I can see you as Facebook user. I can see, hi, Sammy, could you pop your name with it, because I can't see who you are and I'd love to address you personally. So, it's just making that key decision, and the critical decision is, do you want to raise your own personal identity? I mean, this is about personal brand this week. So I assume that you are wanting to raise your personal identity and you want to get it right first time. My advice to you would be absolutely, give yourself a fame name if you don't have one already, because that then positions you. We've talked about fame name very early on in this series. It then positions you as the go-to person in your industry. Olivia, hello. Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you. I can't wait to play with you this weekend as well. It's been too long since I've hugged you, so we need to get you along to the summit. I can't wait. It's going to be such a game changer for you, Olivia. And the thing is, so Olivia, guys and girls, is planning to run a Burning Woman. So if you've heard of the Burning Man Festival, Olivia is planning to run Burning Woman and is coming to the summit to plan it, to project it out to the world, to make sure the message is carrying itself globally. People from all over the world coming in to attend the Burning Woman. I can't wait to see your plan, Olivia. You're just going to nail it this weekend. 2020 is going to be significantly different for all of you. And it starts now. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. You get to choose how you show up. So we've talked about consistency. We've talked about all those other things. Go back and watch the other parts of this series if you haven't seen them already. But just so that I wrap up now, I like to keep them under 15 minutes each day, is to really consider, how much you want to show up and where your ideal clients are showing up to find you. Okay, and it's been very interesting. I'm doing an experiment right now. I'm using StreamYard. You can use StreamYard for free to go live to one profile, or it's about, I think it's $30 or $40 a month to run it to 5 different profiles. So I'm running it to my personal Facebook page, Sammy Blindell Official. I'm running it to my How to Build a Brand Facebook page. I'm running it to my How to Build a Brand Facebook group. I'm running this to my YouTube channel right now, and I'm running it via Periscope to go live via Twitter. So I want to find out where's my audience, and you need to be doing that same thing. But again, talk about it as your company. So you brand it as your company. Everything is branded as my company. It's in the same colors as my company, and is going out via my company pages and my company profiles. So I'm talking as a spokesperson for my company, but the company is also building. So it's time, if you have been hiding behind your business brand, that's what today is all about. If you've been hiding behind your business brand, it is time for you to show up and shine, for you to step up more as the spokesperson, to see yourself as that person. If you're not talking about yourself as that person, is to start putting across your social media profiles, put it across your website, anywhere where there is a customer facing opportunity for your business to be in front of people, is to now start calling yourself Joe Brett, visionary and CEO of, or Olivia Beardsmore, trailblazer and CEO of, or Fiona Dilston, CEO and founder of, right? So you just like position yourself as the spokesperson of the business from now on. Don't hide behind the business anymore. You need to start positioning yourself as that person. And what I found is, especially in certain parts of the world, in America, they find it very important to know what your title is. In Europe, it's also the same. They want to know they're working with the person who owns the business. So start talking about that, about you in your business in that way. And if you've got a vision statement, and Joe, I know we've been looking at our vision statements for us personally recently, which is brilliant, is to really step out there and work out what is it you want to be known for, and how can you show up more for that in the business that you are building. You are so in tune. I wanted to hide behind the brand, but several people have been telling me this. You are the third, so I better get on it. Third time lucky. Third time lucky. Right, guys and girls, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I will be back tomorrow morning with part 8 of this series, and join me today at 5:30 p.m. GMT, where I'll be interviewing the next change maker as part of the Confessions of a Global Change Maker series. I'll be back on this channel. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. If you'd like me to interview you as part of that series, if you are a change maker and you want to get your message out to the world, I want to interview you out to all of our network, so they get to know who you are, but they also get to learn from the mistakes that you don't want anybody else going through in their business. So reach out to me. Let me know if you'd love to be interviewed, because I would love to interview you. Take care. Have an amazing day, and I will see you later. Mwah.